So here's my first video on 13-year-old Coco, who was turned into a shelter when her owner went into assisted living. Looks like the owner has had her as the only cat since birth, and date of birth is confirmed. We do have the original paperwork showing that she is a registered or was born actually to a grand champion father, and has been with the family since then. A single lady again, I believe. So she's lived in a very quiet home. We have a little bit of vet information on her. Blood work from a year ago, which we're going to repeat, looked pretty good. And all indications, looking at her body score and condition, I don't expect that we have any early kidney issues or anything like that. But again, we'll check all that out. She's had some dental work. She's missing a top canine. So we're going to have her mouth checked out though again as well to see if anything needs to be updated there. What we have discovered, and we're not even at the 24-hour mark here yet, is first of all that she's deaf. So there is some mention in her medical history of crying at night, and a doctor taking her to the vet and trying to figure out what's wrong, them checking her thyroid. Again, a year ago that was normal. But I think she's deaf because I've come in several times and she's been asleep or has not heard me move until I actually made some vibration noise. So this happens sometimes as cats age. There's not necessarily a reason for it other than I think it's like people. There's not a great way to test for it other than observation. And the difficulty that happens with it is small kids. So we'll mark that as no, just because they don't know to be aware of the fact that this cat can't hear me. And then the crying. Sometimes you are going to have a cat that cries when they're worried, and it's a little challenging sometimes, I know, because you can't call to them. They don't hear you. So sometimes you have to get up. I had one that cried when he was much older in the middle of the night, and I had to get up and get him, bring him into bed and reassure him, and then it was all fine. This initial hissing you're seeing, this is very common behavior for a cat that is brand new to the environment, who's lost her home, the only home she's ever had. We have her in an area called Step Down here at the center where I don't have to cage her, and I don't want to cage her because that's even more stressful for these cats. She is eating, despite the fact that she's looking at her breakfast and not going to eat it while we're watching. She did eat last night. Canned Friskies was what I offered. Actually, I offered several foods, and that's what she chose. No dry food being consumed at this time. And litter box activity, I don't see any yet. She got here yesterday late afternoon. So we'll keep you updated as we get to know her, we get her blood done, and we find out a little bit more about her. I hope we can get her home soon. The sooner these cats in particular go home, the better. But we want to try to figure out what the challenges are you might face. So the first one is a cat that can't hear. But a lovely, beautiful cat, smaller cat, under 7 pounds. And I think we're going to see super, super sweet. You can see those initial pictures on the evaluator's shoulder on her webpage. We'll get more pictures too as she settles in, but it's early yet.